Hey there, and welcome back to Cosmic Crypto. In this video, we're going to be talking about Litecoin, LTC. Let's go. Okay, welcome back to the channel. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, if you can go down below, hit that subscribe button. While you're down there, if you can tap the like button, I would really appreciate it. Litecoin on the weekly time frame. So I was going to release a video on Litecoin the other day, but I ended up doing a live stream instead. And if you missed it, I know it was a kind of a long live stream with a lot of topics and coins covered. So even if you watched a little bit of it, you might have missed the Litecoin section. So we're going to go over it here. So just want to kind of look at the weekly time frame and go back to what I'd been talking about basically since when Litecoin was down in the $50 area. I had been talking about Litecoin coming up to the center line of this channel. We've been in this long channel now, basically creating higher lows, which you can see right here. These are all higher lows. And we have technically been creating higher highs, just barely, just one higher high there. And we also have these resistance lines that are playing out almost identical. We've got very similar things happening on the chart in this channel right here. Other than the higher lows, I mean, basically everything's identical. One thing that was getting concerned for me, I was getting concerned with is, let's zoom in here. When we were over here in this area, I was talking about how we'd probably come up to the $100 to $120 area. That was based off the center line here and also based off the trend line and a couple other factors that I put in, like this over here, where we had reached in the past. But we are currently, and then in my last Litecoin video, I talked about how we're kind of in a make it or break it zone for Litecoin. We're hitting the weekly 200 EMA right here. And you can see that we've got 1 week, 2 weeks, and the third week getting rejected. And this third week, which only has 16 and a half hours to go, is going to be a red candle, or unless we get a really big move to the upside, it will be a red candle. And the last time we saw something like that was right back here, and then we had a big drop. And also in that area, we had created or formed this red dot on the market cipher B down here. And it looks like we're about to form another red dot, especially if we stay in the area that we're currently in. So I don't know. I was kind of hoping that we would get up to this area and test this area around $120 as resistance, but currently, unless we get a massive move, and I'm going to go down to the lower time frames here in a minute to kind of see what's going on, unless we get a massive move to the upside this next week, I'm not sure that that's actually going to happen. And this green line over here is the halving that's coming up, and you can see in the past, we'll just go to the most recent one. We had a big run up for Litecoin. We did hit that resistance line, and then we had a big crash right before the halving. Well, there's plenty of time before the halving were to come for us to even get at least to come and test this area right here at $120. So this could just be a short-term correction that we get, which I am actually kind of leaning towards right now. I was hoping that we would kind of blast up here and have a good chance to get up to the $400 range before, but that would really, we would have to break above this resistance line right here, this white one, for that to even be possible, I think, before the halving. But right now, we're getting that 200 weekly EMA rejection. I do see plenty of support. I've drawn a fib down from this bottom right down here to the top, and there is plenty of support right at the 382. I'm actually going to get rid of this pink line here. So if we did come back down, which I'm kind of leaning towards that we're going to, not only is the volume very, very weak, but also the RSI had a really difficult time. We didn't even break above, we didn't even get into the 70 area for the RSI. So that's telling me that there's a very decent chance we roll over here and probably at least retest the 382, which is around the $77 area. Let's move into the daily. And this is where the real concern comes into play. We had this trend line that we'd been following for a while, and you can see that we broke through it. And in the live stream, I talked about how we're probably just getting a retrace here, which is exactly what we did. And now we're retesting this as resistance. So it was support, and now we're retesting it as resistance. Which actually on the daily, the 200 EMA lines up pretty nicely with the 382 fib here. So I don't know. I'm really leaning towards, and actually that would be fairly healthy in my opinion, to come back down, retest that 38. Oh geez, what is that again? The 382 fib, and then also the 200 EMA on the daily. You can see that last time when we came down, actually we broke through it, and then we finally got above the 200. We had a nice move to the upside, and we haven't tested it since this time over here, which was back last time we even touched it was back in January 1st. So happy New Year. And anyway, so we got this, we're getting the retest right now. I could totally see us rolling over and finding support down here on the $77. Now, if this is going to remain extremely bullish, then I'd expect us to find support around the $86 area at the 236 fib here. But we'll just have to wait and see. So what else we got? Oh, we had the, on the daily, we've got some divergence. So we've got the higher highs here. And on the RSI, we've got the lower highs as well. And so that's what's playing out right now, is playing out the bearish divergence. And, but I mean, good news, one good news is on the daily, we are holding the 50 level on the RSI. So that is a good news. We could technically just go sideways here if we did remain bullish. We don't have to fall all the way down here, but it is kind of looking like it wants to. But we don't have to. We could go sideways. I could see the RSI pulling another one of these down here. So we had these a couple times here. We had the big drop here. The RSI came down and tested the 38 area. This one tested the 34 area, but it never came back into the oversold area as well. So that's good. So looks like the indicators are just needing a reset, and then possibly get a nice reset on the Cypher B here. Waiting for a green dot on the daily to see if there's any kind of room for momentum there. And also you can see that we fell through the 21 EMA. So here, kind of hidden here. Let me get rid of, well, I don't want to get rid of that. The 21 EMA is riding up this support line that we've been following here. And now we're actually retesting it as resistance as well. So there is that chance, there's that resistance as well. So not only our trend line, but also the 21 EMA. Going down to the 12-hour here. So the 12-hour, see, this is normally if we were to continue on to the upside, we'd probably already have a green dot on the 12-hour, but it looks like it was trying to go that direction. And you can see the RSI got rejected off of the 50 EMA here, or the 50 line on the RSI as well. So it does look like it's going to drop a little bit further. So I'd kind of expect this week we do get some kind of a drop from Litecoin. Let's see, go down to the 4-hour here. Yeah, see, it's just slowly attempting to come back up with really no volume. And again, so on the 4-hour now we do have the red dot. And so it, yeah, there's a, I mean, let's see, 19 minutes left on this 4-hour. Yeah, I can expect another fall here probably in the next couple of hours to at least retest this 200 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. Do I see any kind of patterns forming? That's what I'd be looking for. So actually, I mean, really we're forming a resistance right here. And so, right, if this orange line plays out, you know, until we can kind of, maybe we just kind of follow this orange line as resistance down to the 382. And if we did that, if we take a fib from the top here down to this bottom, you can see that we're getting perfectly rejected off of the 382. So actually, if you're looking to short, I don't do trade signals, but this might be a decent time to check out a short, put your stop loss above the 382 here, get a nice tight stop loss, and then you can follow this down probably to the macro 382 down here, which is from where we're at. That's a, I mean, that's an almost 8% move, so that's pretty good. So just something to pay attention to. I don't really see anything else bullish here at all. The rejection off the 382 is actually very bearish. The rejection off this resistance line, and we're not even getting back up to test our previous support line here as well, is also pretty bearish. And the volume is pretty low as well, so another bearish sign as well. So in the short term, I do expect that pullback, but in the longer term, I'm still very bullish on Litecoin. Not as bullish as I am on a lot of other coins, but I do think Litecoin is going to surprise people this cycle. Going back out to the weekly time frame, just following this trajectory here, at minimum, Litecoin is going to go up a 4x, in my opinion, up to $400. And then, honestly, I think that this is going to be the cycle that we break above this resistance line here. But either way, you can get that nice move out of Litecoin. So hopefully we don't do something like this where it's drawn out and we just go down and sideways kind of for a very long time. I mean, this thing was played out from the top here just down to the bottom was 273 days. And then before we even made another high was 525 days. So hopefully we don't see something like this playing out with Litecoin, because that would be just a dreadful, downwards grind and then sideways action until we finally started moving to the upside. Hopefully it's just a quick drop to the downside and then a pump up to the upside to at least come and test this this resistance, this white resistance line on the macro here that I've got. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is at minimum to retest that. Now, if we can break through, now once we get up and touch that, then we got to really pay attention, because if we break above that, that's an excellent sign for continuation. If we're getting rejected off of that, then obviously that's a bad sign. So let me get rid of these fibs here. I want to do one more fib from this high over here down to the bottom and see if it lines up. So it would actually line up perfectly with the 0.5 fib on the larger time frame to get rejected off of, which would actually, if we lined that up, let's do a vertical line here. That would line up perfectly with April 24th. So for another attempt up there, which it actually, I mean, that seems plausible, because we'd get that, rejection off the 200 EMA here, come back down and retest support right around the $77 level, slowly grind our way back up, and then finally hit that area. So I guess my new price target for the shorter term is $107, which you can see that over here, we kind of did something similar where we came up and tested this 50, or not the 50, the heart line of the channel, got rejected, and then came down, and then we went up for another push to the upside, and then finally got rejected off this resistance line to then start that long grind. So if you're in this for the long haul, I mean, you could hold them, but I mean, I'd really be paying attention to this white line here. And if we get rejected, maybe sell off some of your Litecoin and then rebuy at a lower price target. Because let's just play that out here. Let's put another fib on here, and we can go from the very bottom right over here. And let's just put it at my estimated price target here, which may not happen, just kind of an estimation. So we'll put it right there. Then there's a very good chance if we didn't break this resistance line and we did get rejected, there's a very good chance that we come back down. So that would be selling at 107, rebuying at probably 59 to 60, maybe even all the way down to 49 to 50. So that'd be quite a play if you could sell it here if it didn't go through, and rebuy down here at a lower price. You'd actually, at that point, double your Litecoin. And then at that point, that's when I do believe that the continuation would come on. And so you can double your Litecoin if that played out, and then sell it even at the peak up here, which I'm almost certain it's going to reach in this bull cycle, but possibly even going higher. So we'll just have to wait and see. That's pretty much all I got for Litecoin. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.